Hi guys, welcome back. I request everyone, so please come online. Yeah, so sorry for inconvenience. So let me discuss on a gusset base. Okay, so let me draw the diagrams. Gusset base. So after having the diagram, so we can have a discussion on the gusset base, how to design the gusset bases. Okay, so let me draw the column, which is connected to the slab base. See, even in the gusset bases also there will be a slab base. Why? Because we use this gusset bases when the load is heavy. Okay, so when the axial load is more, axial load P is more. Okay, so this is going to be connected with the foundation, right? Concrete foundation with the help of again 4 anchorage poles on 4 corners of the gusset base. Right, and see here, apart from a regular slab base, your gusset bases and there will be connected one plate here to carry or to transfer load safely to the slab base. See, when a column is carrying a heavy load, you can see in PEB structures like pre-engineering building structures, so the bottom portion of the section is having more in size. Okay, so to transfer this maximum load to the concrete foundation, your base of the column is supposed to be stiffened with the help of more plates. So that plates are going to be a gusset bases or gusset plates anamata. Okay, so there is one angle placed like this. So this angle is called gusset angle. Okay, poles will be placed here like this. Clear? So this is called gusset base. This is called gusset angle. Okay, and this is called base plate. This is called concrete foundation. Clear? And these are called anchorage bolts. Right? Okay, so this is how the gusset plate and gusset angle is going to be provided. Okay, so let me draw the top view where you can see it very clearly how the gusset plates are provided to the this thing. Here is the plate. Okay, so this portion will be completely concrete, and there will be 4 bolts which are placed at corner, which are called anchorage bolts, right? And at center there will be a column section, which was like this, right? And beside to this column flange there is a plate, isn't it? So that plate is called as a gusset plate, which is provided throughout the length of the slab base. ఎంత length ఉంటే అంత length width, I mean అంత width provide చేస్తాం with a certain height of this అనమాట, right? And next to that there is a gusset angle కదా. ఆ గసెట్ యాంగిల్ ఈ విధంగా ఉంటుంది. గసెట్ యాంగిల్ అంటే 2 లెగ్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా, one leg is this and the other leg is this. So this leg I can see it as a thickness and this leg I can see like this. Even here also gusset plate, gusset angle with this. So let me show you how these are connected. ఇక్కడ మీకు టాప్ నుంచి చూస్తే బోల్ట్స్ కనిపిస్తాయి. సో దీస్ ఆర్ ద బోల్ట్స్. Okay, and this leg which is outstanding leg is going to connect to the base plate. Base plate కి ఈ విధంగా కనెక్ట్ అవుతుంది. Okay, right. Clear, right? So here you can see a concrete foundation, base plate, angle, gusset plate, gusset plate, column. So all they are placed here, right? So this is elevation and this is the top view, and let me draw the cross section how it looks like. A cross section will have a concrete foundation, right, and the base plate, and center you will have a column, and web you can't see, it is invisible, that's why it is in a dotted line, right? So from side view you can see the, what you can see the gusset plate which is covering the whole width of the slab base, right, like this. On top it will be like this, and coming to the bottom ఇలా వచ్చి ఇలాగా కవర్ అవుతుంది అన్నమాట, right? So this is the practical way of picture amma. Okay, so this plate from the side view it looks like this. Okay, so see, earlier I have shown you one picture, right? So that is how the gusset plate will be like this, and gusset angle undi kada, ee gusset angle will be like this. Gusset angle will be up to this height and the thickness can be seen here. Okay, right. So now this gusset plate and the column flange is connected with the help of a bolts. Right, and this angle leg and gusset plate is connected with the help of a bolts. Here also, and this angle leg, gusset angle leg connected with the base plate will be like this. Okay, clear? And this base plate is connected to the concrete foundation like this. Okay na? See, as a civil engineer you must be in a position to draw every section amma, so then only people can understand easily. Clear? Okay, so కావాలంటే బేస్ ప్లేట్ కూడా నేను హ్యాష్ చేస్తాను. So you can see this is the base plate. So when the load is heavy, just base plate is not enough to transfer load to the concrete foundation. Understood? So you required an additional plates along with the base plate. That additional plates are the gusset bases and gusset plates and gusset angle, right? So this is how the gusset base is going to be, okay, shown, right? So this is a side view, right? So let me start with design steps, how to design this gusset base. Gusset base ni ela design chestaru. So let me start how to design this gusset base. See, as per IS 800/2007, you can see the information about the gusset bases in page number 46, clause 7.4.2. Okay, from there you can able to understand this gusset bases. So as per 800/2007, so what code is specifically mentioning, it specifies that gusset plates, base or plate, దీన్ని ప్లేట్ అనొచ్చు లేకపోతే బేస్ అనొచ్చు, గసెట్ ప్లేట్ ఆర్ గసెట్ బేస్ అండ్ యాంగిల్స్, gusset angles and fasteners in combination with the bearing area shall be sufficient to take the loads. ఇవన్నీ సరిపోతాయి అన్నమాట, వాట్ ఎవర్ ద యాక్సిల్ లోడ్ విచ్ ఇస్ క్యారీడ్ బై ద కాలమ్. ఓకే, సో నౌ all the bearing surfaces shall be missioned and ensure perfect contact. So now let me show you the picture of this, how the gusset bases looks like. So this is the model. చూడండి model. Now I am showing the elevation. See the elevation, column, right, slab base connected to the concrete foundation with the help of anchorage bolts. ఎన్ని anchorage bolts ఉన్నాయి? 4 anchorage bolts on 4 corners, right? So this is the elevation. Okay, so ఇక్కడ నేను 2 చూపించానమ్మా. if the gusset base or gusset plates are connected with the help of a bolts అంటే ఈ విధంగా కనిపిస్తుంది. This is the side view. చూడండి side view. So your gusset plate was connected to the column flange with the help of a bolts, and your gusset angle is connected to the gusset plate with the help of a bolts, right? అదే వెల్డింగ్ చేస్తే, so this is the way of doing welding. So they do welding here. So on top of this they do welding even here also, right? And here that's how your slab, column is connected to gusset bases, and these gusset bases are connected to slab base, and where the load will transfer through anchorage bolts to the concrete foundation. Okay, so that is how your column bases are going to be shown. Clear? Understood? So now let me start designing of the gusset base. ఇక్కడ చూడమ్మా, in the designing of the gusset base, even first you have to design the slab base, because slab base is the common element in the both gusset base, slab base and gusset base. In the both things, slab base is must and should. So I think you know how to design the slab base, isn't it? First you have to go through the size of the slab base by calculating the bearing strength of the concrete, and then you have to calculate the gross area of the base plate required. After calculating the gross area of the base plate, you have to decide the size of the base plate by taking the projections of A and B, which is almost equal, to make it economical size. Then after, you have to decide the thickness of the base plate. How to calculate the thickness of the base plate? Code is also recommended, the formula from page number 47 in IS 800/2007 in the clause 7.4.3. The thickness of the slab base formula which is given should always be greater than the thickness of the column flange. Thickness of the column flange kana ekku undali. Okay, that is how the designing of the slab base is end. And additional to the slab base, you have to design the thickness of the gusset plate, width of the gusset plate, height of the gusset plate, right? See here what you have to design here. You have to design the length of the gusset plate, width of the gusset plate, thickness of the gusset plate, and next you have to decide the what is the size of an gusset angle. Okay, so this you have to design based on the design steps. Now I will let you know the design steps one by one, how to design the gusset base. Okay, so let me write the design steps over here in the new page. Yeah, so now start with the design of gusset base or gusset plate, right? Okay, so what is the first step? First you have to design the slab base, isn't it? So because slab base is a common element in the both slab base and the gusset base. So for the slab base, what first you have to calculate? You have to calculate the area of slab base from factored axial load which is acting on the column towards its bearing strength of the concrete foundation based on the concrete grade. And next you have to calculate the thickness of the slab base. That's ends with the size of the, that ends with the slab base design. Now coming to the gusset base. See what code is recommending. So let's write the steps one by one. First one, thickness of the gusset plate you can assume as 16 mm. Thickness of gusset plate, it is assumed as 16 mm. So undoubtedly you can assume, sorry, just I got a column, that's it. Okay, clear? Yeah. So thickness of a gusset plate is assumed as a 16 mm straight away. Undoubtedly you can assume the gusset plate thickness as 16 mm, and you can check whether the 16 mm thickness is safe or not later on. And next step, size of the gusset angle is assumed such that, so whatever the size of the gusset angle you are going to take, code is recommending that size of gusset angle is assumed such that its vertical leg can accommodate 2 bolts, okay, in one vertical line, okay, whereas other leg can accommodate 1 bolt. Understood? So I will show you with some diagram. So whatever the gusset angle which I am providing along with the gusset plate, this angle is to be assumed such that, so this is your gusset angle. What code is recommending? Make sure the vertical leg should accommodate 2 bolts in a one vertical row and 1 bolt horizontally in the other leg. By that, can you tell me what should be the length of the connected leg? It should be edge distance, pitch distance, edge distance, edge distance, edge distance. This is how you can fix the size of gusset angle. Okay, and whatever the thickness, thickness you can take it as 16 mm equal to gusset plate thickness. So whatever the size, whatever the thickness of the gusset plate I assumed as 16 mm, you can take even the gusset angle thickness also as a 16 mm. Okay, so that is what code is recommending, right? Done. And next one, as I told you, thickness, third point as a thickness can be taken approximately equal to thickness of gusset plate. Okay, so whatever the angle you get, the angle thickness you can take approximately equal to the thickness of the gusset plate directly. So that is how you can able to select the size of your gusset angle. Okay, and next, width of gusset base. Can you tell me what should be the width of the gusset base? So here width of the gusset base is kept such that it will just project outside the gusset angle, and hence, see, your gusset angle may not be equal to the width of the gusset base. So whatever the angle you are providing here, this angle need not be equal to the width of the gusset base. So this gusset base or plate can have more width, but this angle can have less in width. Okay, okay, understood. So that is how this width can be equal to the width of the slab base. Observe cheyandi amma jagrataga. So here understood. So this is the width of the column flange. This is the width of the gusset plate, which can be equivalent to the width of the slab base. But this gusset angle need not be equal to the width of the gusset plate. It is chinnaga kuda undachu annamata, right? So that is a condition what the code is recommending. Width of gusset base is kept such that it will just project outside the gusset angle. Okay, gusset angle kanna mee gusset base or gusset plate yokka width ekku undachu. Then how to calculate the length of the gusset? Length is equal to area of plate by width of the gusset angle. How you calculate the length? How you get the length of the gusset plate? The length of the gusset plate you can get from the area of the plate. Area of the plate will be calculated based on the load and the width of the plate. The width of the gusset base can be taken as the width of the slab base. You know the width, you know the area, you know the area, you know the width. By that you can calculate the length. Okay, that's how you can able to calculate the length of the gusset base straight away. Understood? Now, sir, how to get the area of the plate? Area of the plate ela vastundi? Area of the plate always comes from the load. So what load you need to consider? As I already told you many times, when column is connected to the slab base where the end is properly milled, so column will carry 50% of the load through its bearing with a proper contact between column and the base plate, and the other 50% of the load will be taken by the gusset bases. Understood? So only these additional plates are going to be designed for 50% of the axial load. No need to take 100% of the load. Why? Because through bearing 50% of the load will be smoothly carried by the gusset bases and the slab base. So the next important point is that only based on the load. When the end of the column is missioned. What do you mean missioned? Missioned anna milled anna okate. When the end of the column is properly missioned or milled, for complete bearing on the base plate, okay, 50% of the load will be transferred by bearing. 50% of the load will be transferred by bolting or welding. Understood? Okay. So when the bases are properly milled, 50% of the load will be transferred by the bearing by having a proper contact, and the 50% of the load will be transferred by the bolting or riveting. So if you want to calculate the number of bolts required to connect your gusset base to the column, take the 50% of the load and calculate the strength of one bolt in terms of shear again. Why shear? See, your bolt is like this and the force is like this, where bolt is subjected under shear. By that calculate the strength of bolt under shear, and you know the load carried by the gusset base, which is 50%. Total load by strength of one bolt will give you number of bolts required to connect your gusset plate to the column flange. Okay, that is how you can able to calculate. Okay, so then the thickness of the base plate is computed by flexural strength at the critical sections. You can calculate the thickness of the base plate based on the flexural strength at the critical sections. Why? Because I am telling you many times that your slab base is something like a short beam. Your beam is basically subjected to flexure, bending. So by that you can calculate the thickness either by using that formula, which is T is equal to something should be less than TF, or else you can calculate the thickness based on flexural strength at the critical sections. You can calculate the critical section and you can calculate the flexural strength. Through that you can calculate the thickness also. Okay, there are two ways to calculate the thickness. In my problem I told the students to calculate thickness based on the formula, and in other way also you can calculate the thickness based on the flexural strength at the critical sections. Okay, so this is how the designing of the gusset base is going to be taken place. So simple amma. In slab bases you have to decide the size of the base plate and the thickness. In the gusset bases you have to design the slab base along with the size of the gusset base. Size of the gusset base enti, you should know the length, you should know the width, you should know the thickness. Gusset angle code chala clear ga ichindi. While using gusset angle, the vertical leg should accommodate 2 bolts and horizontal leg should accommodate 1 bolt. By that you can get the size of the gusset angle easily. And coming to the width, you can take the width of the gusset angle almost equal to the width of the slab base core teeskochu. Okay, there is no issue in that. And the thickness of the gusset angle can be taken equal to the thickness of the gusset plate or gusset base. Okay, that's it. So this is the designing of the column bases, right? So very important. So you can come across at least one question out of these two in your competitive exams, either in IES or external examinations. That's the reason why I told compression members is such an important topic, where you come across with the different kinds of designs like a compound column design, strut design, built up columns like laced column and battened columns, splicing, column bases, that is with slab base and gusset base. See, almost you will do around 6 to 7 problems, but where you are going to get 2 problems in your external examinations. So we can't just imagine which is gonna come, but you have to go through each and every concept clearly to have a better understanding on the designing of the compression members. Okay, so this ends up with the designing of the compression members. I think I made justification for this, and tomorrow we are going to start with the beam concept, beams. So we are going to discuss on beams, different types of beams like laterally supported beam, laterally unsupported beam. Okay, and we will design one problem on beams which is a built up beam. Okay, we will do one problem on hot rolled beam and we will have a built up beam also. How to design beams under flexure, shear, buckling, crippling and all. And we will go through with the plate girder design. And one more important concept undama, which is an eccentrical bolted connections. We are having 2 eccentrical bolted connections and 2 eccentrical welded connections. Almost 4 problems untai. So out of 4, 1 question 100% will be there in your exam. Such an important one. So for every problem I have a model. I will explain through the model. Okay, we will start that immediately after completion of the beams. Okay, then we can move on to the roof trusses. Okay, that's it. So that ends with the today's class. I will share the notes immediately after the session completes. Any doubts you can ask me right now. Okay, please guys, any questions you can question me now. See, let's see tomorrow either beams or we can start with eccentrical bolted or welded connections. Edi kudirte adi start cheddam. Okay, so anyway I will share you through Facebook which topics I am going to start tomorrow. Okay, so I will start based on the convenience, either eccentrical connections or beams. Okay, I think better after completion of beams only we can start the eccentrical connections. Okay, because you should know the beam concept first to understand the eccentrical connections, how the load transfers from beam to column. Okay, so that's why we will start beams tomorrow, then we can go with the eccentrical connections. Guys, please, applications sir for gusset base. Applications em ledamma, all columns in the major industrial buildings, when the column is subjected to heavy loads, we will go with the gusset bases only. Almost all. Only for small loads like electrical poles meer ekkadana chusara, all electrical poles are connected to the concrete foundation with only a base plate. There is no gusset base for that. But if you see a huge hoardings, oka single pillar meeda pedda hoardings untai. Okay, so you can see that pillar, either it may be a circular pillar or a circular hollow pillar or some rectangular or square pillar. That pillar was connected to the base plate with the help of some plates. on its circumference. Those plates are called gusset plates anamata. మీరు చూడొచ్చు. Okay, so wherever column is subjected to heavy load, they will go for gusset bases. Okay, so simple. More load. Okay, wherever the load is low, like small loads ఉన్నాయనుకోండి, slab base is enough to transfer load from column to foundation. Okay, you doesn't require any gusset bases or gusset angles to transfer the load. Anything else? Anything else, Amma? Then how was the class today? Fine? Satisfied? Sorry, actually we are a bit busy in discussing these column bases, so that's why today question was not given. So no worries, tomorrow while starting our class itself, first we will go with the question, right? So then we can start our session. Praveen, any and why should we use the packing plates in connections? See, packing plates is required whenever there is a gap between two plates. So alanti sections lone you require some filler plates to be placed. Okay, when the sections are unequal, when the parent materials are unequal, if you want to butt each other, then you require a packing plate. Okay, so packing plate applications are very rare, amma. So whenever there are unequal plates to be joined each other or unequal sections to be joined each other, definitely filler plates are supposed to be needed. Okay, the only thing is filler plates are not subjected to any kind of load. అదొక్క పాయింట్ మాత్రం మైండ్లో పెట్టుకోండి. Never filler plates will be subjected to any load. Filler plate is only provided to fill the gap between these non-uniform sections. Okay, it is only to fill the gap. That is the reason why it called filler plate. Okay, in column bases we never use filler plates. Filler plates same use చేయము. So if somewhere we required filler plates ekkada ante, if your slab base is not properly contacted to the concrete foundation ki slab base ki kinda ఏమైనా gap ఉందనుకోండి, that gap is going to be filled with some plates anamata, and they do welding between slab base and that filler plate. అలాంటి చోట filler plates యూస్ చేస్తారు column bases లో, otherwise no need. Okay, so gaps అంటే ఇదే. Let me show you the diagram. Here you can see the slab base plate, right? ఈ బేస్ ప్లేట్ కి కాంక్రీట్ ఫౌండేషన్స్ కి ఆన్ ఇట్స్ సర్కంఫరెన్స్, ఈ సర్కంఫరెన్స్ లో ఎక్కడన్నా ఈ గ్యాప్ ఉందనుకోండి, రెండింటి మధ్యలో గ్యాప్ ఉందనుకోండి, ఎందుకంటే దిస్ కాంక్రీట్ ఫౌండేషన్ యూ నీడ్ టు క్యాస్ట్ యాజ్ లెవెల్ టు హ్యావ్ ఎ ప్రాపర్ కాంటాక్ట్ బిట్వీన్ బేస్ ప్లేట్ అండ్ ద కాంక్రీట్ ఫౌండేషన్. ప్రాపర్గా కూర్చోవాలి. హోల్ ఇట్స్ స్క్వేర్ ఏరియా చూడండి, దీని యొక్క లెంత్, దీని యొక్క విడ్త్, మొత్తం ఈ సర్ఫేస్ ఏరియా ఈ కాంక్రీట్ మీద ఇట్ షుడ్ రెస్ట్ ఆన్ దట్. ఇఫ్ యూ ఫైండ్ అట్లీస్ట్ ఎనీ గ్యాప్, వాట్ హ్యాపన్స్, లోడ్ మే నాట్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ ప్రాపర్లీ. కానీ ఇక్కడ లోడ్స్ ఏంటంటే, లోడ్స్ విల్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ through a proper bearing between base plate and the concrete foundation and along through the anchorage bolts also. Okay, the only thing is if you find any gap in between these two, that gap can be filled with some plates. అది కూడా స్టీల్ ప్లేట్స్ ప్లేస్ చేసి దే డూ వెల్డింగ్ అనమాట. ఓకే, సో దట్స్ హౌ దే డూ వెల్డింగ్. అండ్ యు నో దిస్ యాంకరేజ్ బోల్స్ యొక్క పాయింట్ చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ అమ్మా. ఐ ఫర్గాట్ టు టెల్ యూ. సో లెట్ మీ టెల్ దట్, very very important. I forgot to tell you that. So let me write here, so which is very important. Anchorage bolt. I forgot to tell you, amma, sorry. Anchorage bolts యొక్క కాన్సెప్ట్ ఒకటి ఉంది. So whatever the anchorage bolts you are using, anchorage bolts should have minimum dia of 20 mm. Anchorage bolts minimum 20 mm dia undali and should be length of 300 mm long anchor bolt undali. Clear? Anchor bolt should have a minimum dia of 20 mm and the length should be 300 mm long. This length should be 300 mm long and it should be anchored like this. ఎప్పుడు ఇలా స్ట్రైట్ గా ఉండకూడదు. It should be bend, anchored ఉండాలి. కాంక్రీట్ లో యాంకర్ అయి ఉండాలి. అవ్వకపోతే ఏమవుతుంది, సి వెన్ యువర్ కాలమ్ ఈజ్ సబ్జెక్టెడ్ టు when your column is subjected to lateral force, right? So your column will try to deflect laterally. ఇలా డిఫ్లెక్ట్ అవుతుంది. ఇలా డిఫ్లెక్ట్ అయినప్పుడు if you have a proper anchorage, this anchorages will make your column stable ఉంచుతుంది. లేకపోతే డిఫ్లెక్ట్ అయ్యే ఛాన్సెస్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటాయి. ఇది చూడండి, ఇదే యాంకరేజ్ లేకుండా స్ట్రైట్గా ఉందనుకోండి, ఫ్రమ్ కాంక్రీట్ దిస్ యాంకరేజ్ బోల్ట్ క్యాన్ ఈజీలీ కమ్అట్. చాలా ఫెయిల్యూర్స్ మీరు చూడొచ్చు. సో వెన్ దే ఆర్ నాట్ ప్రొవైడింగ్ ఎ ప్రాపర్ యాంకరేజ్, అట్లీస్ట్ దే విల్ డూ యాంకరేజింగ్ ఆఫ్ 150 mm లెంత్. తెలుసా, 150 mm మినిమం యాంకరేజింగ్ చేస్తారు. సో అదర్వైజ్ వాట్ హ్యాపన్స్ వెన్ ఇట్ ఈస్ సబ్జెక్టెడ్ టు lateral force, this bolt will come out. Okay, that's why anchoraging is very important. That's the reason it is called anchorage bolt. Okay, so as important specification, anchorage bolt should be a length of 300 mm long, minimum dia of 20 mm dia. Okay, and what I called the cleat angles, whatever the cleat angles you use, cleat angle, the bolt connecting is to be used for connecting column to the base plate. Cleat angles can be a minimum size of 2 angles, 65 by 65 by 6 mm thick angles undali. Okay, cleat angles whatever you provided to connect your slab base to the column, the cleat angle size should be minimum of 65 by 65 by 6 mm. Right? And if the weld is to be used for connecting column to the base plate, you have to go with the fillet weld only. Fillet weld is to be used to connect slab base to column. Clear? Right. These are very, very important points. So please keep them in mind. Okay, anchorage bolts, minimum 20 mm dia, length 300 mm, cleat angles should be minimum size of 65 by 65 by 6 mm. Fillet weld is to be used to connect slab base to the column. Okay, so that's it. That ends with the today's topic. So any doubts you can ping me at any time, so by that we can able to solve it. Right? Clear? So shall I wind today's class, ma'am? I think only 3 are in online, rest of all left, I think. Okay, Praveen, thank you for staying till end. Rajita ma'am, thank you so much. And who else? Shravya is also there in online. Yeah, thank you Shravya. Any doubts? Clear? So today's session is good. Any response? Clear? I think a majority of the topics we can complete in this week. Okay, Sai Krishna, thank you Sai Krishna. Ma'am, shall I leave? Anusha, are you fine? Have you understood the concept? I think you already done with these topics in my class then. Okay, yeah, thank you Praveen, thank you Shravya. Let's see you tomorrow then. Okay, bye Amma.